Hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Alright, so first thing I'm gonna say is if you aren't subbed to JFarmakis, I have no idea what you're doing. These are my really good friends, John and Dustin. They are really popular, great duo, the innovators of the duo Pokemon Go stream, and you can see them commonly on Twitch. I put their links on below, but if you don't know them, you'll probably know them way more than me. For those of you that don't know, JFarm or John and Dustin, actually, that's what I call them the most. They're really good friends of mine. From when I started doing PvP streaming, they're really good. They really like took me in and like made me feel a part because I wasn't very well known up until I gave a triple baby video to John and Dustin. They really wanted my baby video, so they're like, here, like, hey, do you want a shoutcast? I'm like, yeah, sure, here. So I gave them another video. Again, really great friends of mine. You probably know them way more than me, or you sub to my video from their video. But this is going to give you a systematic and a really in-depth, quick analysis because it's actually really simple on how Braviary is able to work in Open Master League. Alright, so here's a quick little chart of the patterns I identified the most for Open Master League. The three that I saw the most out of, I would say, 20 battles entering and testing Braviary, or just seeing the meta in general, were Giratina O, Groudon, and Togekiss in Open Unlimited Master League. These are also pretty common in Classic, but what I keyed in on the most, you see the big dark ghost dragon, well actually big ghost dragon up there? Giratina Origins was being led, like, I would say, like, more than half of my battles. So, I systematically, or I keyed in on that particular pattern. Giratina Origins at the time as well were also, most of them, well, actually almost everyone I encountered during my entire time messing around Master Leagues in Open and Master League Classic, all had Shadow Ball and Omnis Wind. In other words, no one was running, or there was probably someone out there running Dragon Pulse, but the ones that I encountered, all of them were not running Dragon Pulse. So there was a 90% chance I was not going to encounter a Dragon Pulse Giratina. Because of that, I can wall Giratina with Braviary. Braviary also had a really strong matchup against Groudon, and for all of you haters saying like, oh my gosh, but this whole team's weak to Togekiss, you're gonna see, well, no shit, Sherlock, it's weak against Togekiss. But there's a way out against Togekiss. That's why you do your homework. And you're gonna see in the analysis later. Well, yeah. Well, a deeper, like, team analysis later. You'll see how I can beat Togekiss. Or my game plan against Togekiss. Because, you know, if you build a team, you gotta cover your weaknesses or have a way out. At least that's how I formulate teams. Now, the closer pattern. Closer patterns were mostly Steels and Kyogres. Obviously, I can still be wrong. Your closer patterns could be Togekisses, etc. However, the most popular patterns I was running into at the time, or most of the time, out of, I would say, the 100 and 200 battles, as I mentioned, were Melmetals and Dialgas. In other words, most of the time, I would get Dialga safe switch or Melmetal safe switch, as well as Kyogre in the back. Now, like I mentioned, you can encounter so many other combinations, but those were the combinations I saw the most, which is why I put Machamp in the back. Level 50 Machamp. Level 50 Machamp has a great match because it's steel typing versus a Rhyperior, so I decided to use the level 50 Machamp. Level 50 Gyarados was there to cover Groudon and to cover Kyogre. It was my save switch. It wasn't actually a really great save switch. Before all your haters like, oh my gosh, Melmetal can wreck my soul in the back. Yes, I already know that. I'm going to get to that later. Anyways, Gyarados level 50 is a fantastic safe switch in the open meta because it has a chance against Dialga, and like I mentioned, it does really great against Kyogre as well as Groudon. So I keyed into as many popular patterns as I could, and I took full advantage of that. This entire sequence was all calculated. The big word, calculated. Alright, now that you know how I was targeting everything, calculated targets, I put a team together. So I was like, alright, Gyarados and Machamp. Gyarados, really great save switch. Machamp, because you have the fighter pattern, or the steel pattern in the back, fighter level 50 does good. The reason I have Rock Slide is to cover Togekiss. I'm going to explain that in a little bit. But as you see here, not super safe. This is why I was like a little iffy about Gyarados. But after I made this and put this on the team builder, if you look below here, it does really decent. As you see, Gyarados does decently well against Dialga. So if I got some switches, if I got Dialga as a safe switch, I'm perfectly fine with that. The only big problem I had to encounter was Melmetal, which is why, if you saw that, I think it was match number 5, I had to basically pull all the stops against that Melmetal to take it out. And somehow I won that. But there's always a win condition. Always a win condition. But as you see here, it does incredibly well against the majority of the meta. As long as I can key in on Giratina O and Groudon, I can do a lot of damage, which is what I really keyed in. So, because those two patterns are so popular, guess what? Braviary is gonna go to town. So, that's what it is. And like I said, against Dialga, which was the most popular safe switch, I had these two right here. And I just had to have a really big contingency plan against freaking Melmetal. Yeah. Melmetal hate. Hate Melmetal. As you see here, I already knew my potential threats, Togekiss being the big one. You don't see many Lugias, but definitely Togekiss was the one where I had my eyes on. That's why I had my contingency plans with Togekiss. Also, the thing is, Kyogre was also kind of a problem as well, which is why I ultimately couldn't go 5-0 because someone had a Kyogre in the lead. Kyogre is only real, the reason I have Gyarados is for Kyogre. If I get that Kyogre in the back, Gyarados can take care of it pretty handily. But as you see here, Gyarados was another one of my big problems. Another problem was also Giratina Altered. If I saw Giratina Altered, I was in trouble because Dragon Claw doesn't get resisted by Braviary. So I already knew my targets. I already knew my weaknesses. This team does really, really well. This team does really, really well if you did what I did and you keyed in on the popular patterns. But that made me famous and that made me go viral. Well, not really go viral, but well, technically, yeah. Something really cool, okay? And it works. But in order to understand how it works, you really have to get into it. And I'm telling you now how to get into it. But as you see, as I said there, that's how Braviary works. A few other things to key in on is, as you see here, for Togekiss, for all of you says, oh, that guy, you're weak to Togekiss. Guess what? There's a strategy. So against Togekiss, here's what I can do. Togekiss, if I have Rock Slide, I can break both of Togekiss's shields, which is, and you saw one of the battles in that video, that showcase. This is my contingency plan. Break both shields, have shield advantage, and come out in the 1-0s against Togekiss. That was my game plan for Braviary. So I already had a game plan against Togekiss. I already knew it. Second of all, that sack into Dialga. So if you watch the video, I sacked like a god for my Braviary into Dialga. That was also calculated. I actually don't know how to count Dragon Breath, so I was somewhat counting, but this is what happens. If you get the 0 shield against a Dialga, here's what happens. You will get one cross chop off, however, the very last Dragon Breath. So, the very last Dragon Breath. So once it hits the red, after you hit 1, 2, 3, and then you swap. That had to happen perfectly. I already knew my opponent was gonna fire right away because they're gonna Desperado shot me. Any player would do the same thing. They're gonna Desperado shot you. There's no way they can farm you down. So that's how that sack was actually very calculated. I failed this about twice, so then on the third I kind of figured it out. I didn't really need the sack. I still would have been able to air slash down, but that sack was calculated. I'm just that good. When you fail a lot of times, this is what you get. You start making things that work. And I have now mastered the sack and know the exact interval when to sack on a whole Dialga. Yeah. That's how you look cool. Last is Braviary versus Giratina Origins. This is how the pattern worked the most. As you see here, Giratina Origins loses all shield scenarios unless it has shield advantage. That's the only way Gyro wins against Braviary. As you see here, Braviary can tank a ton of damage. Even if this is a level 50 Giratina Origins, here's what happens. Even that's a level 50 Giratina Origins, I still win every scenario, except the only scenario it picks up is the 0 shield. So a level 40 Braviary can be a level 50 Giratina Origins. See? Calculated. All calculated. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'm almost at 1K viewers. Not 1K viewers, 1K subscribers. Once I get to 1K subs, I will create a team building series on how I team build and make effective teams for Go Battle League in order to reach 3,000 elo. So I've done it consistently. I've done it 7 times, but I will pour my secrets out in a video series once I hit 1K subs. But if you guys haven't watched this series with Braviary, my beautiful bird that was able to actually take me to the promised land and get some really cool battles off, links below. You probably already watched. If you are here from that video, this is how I got it done, and this is how I was able to formulate everything together and do crazy stuff. I do crazy stuff like this all the time, But I try to have fun, but if you want to have fun, I also want to win. So in order to, like, yes, I can lose, but you know what? It's got to be able to win. So that's how I kind of put it together. Anyways, Braviary is a lot of fun. Did a lot of great things for me. Maybe I'll use it again. Make another video of it. We'll wait and see. Or I might do something completely new. In order for you to find out, follow me on Twitch or sub to my channel on YouTube. Actually do both, and I appreciate it. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see you guys on the next video.